use our hip to get our center line. Now, from this point to this point is our hip measurement, right, which is 9 inches. So that is where we'll be dividing into two. So this is 9. So the midpoint will be 4.5. So if from here to here is 4.5, that means on this point we'll be having 4.52, and on this point we'll be having 4.5 also. Make this clear. Right. So we have 4.5, 4.5, and 4.5. Now you will see the difference between using the lap and that of the hip, but the both of them still work, right? They still work. But if you are sewing for somebody that is fat, I always advise to use this hip only, right? If you are sewing for somebody that is fat, I will advise to use this one. So now that we have our 4.5 here and 4.5 here, which is our measurement here divided by 2, right? So on this point now, we are going to put our knee measurement. So if our knee measurement is 8, we're going to have 4 here and 4 here. So we have something like this. Right, as our knee circumference. Then for the ankle circumference, if it's 7, we're going to have 3.5, 3.5, then go this way, 1.7. Right. So we join this to this and this to this. We join this to this and this to this point. Now you see the difference. On this part is more heavy. Right? It's more curvy around this part, while on this part is not that curvy. Right? So it's not that curvy. Then you join this part to this. Right? See that this place is not too curvy because I make use of my hip for the center line. But on this part, it will be very, very curvy, right? So that is the only difference. I advise you use this one, especially for fat people. People that are fat, you use this one for them because they are fat, but they'll still want to wear a pencil trouser. So the more the trouser is going pencil, the more the difference between this place and this place increase. Assuming the person want it like palazzo now, this place will be open. So even though you use this lap measurement to get your center point, it will not really reflect. So that is just the two difference, right? So with this, whichever way works for you, either you use the other one or this one, but the one you feel that they like the outcome most is what I always advise you to use, right? So this is how you get the front panel of your female trouser. Do you understand? If there's any question, still put it down. So as soon as we are done, I will attend to all the questions. Right? Attend to all the questions. Now, to get the back of this one is very, very easy too. It's very, very easy. What you do on this point, you go up by 2 inches, right? You go up by 2 inches. Sorry, our ball is not enough. So we just put it there. You go up by, for the back panel, you go up by 2 inches. Then from this point to this point, you add also 2 inches. You add 2 inches here. Then on this point, you add 2.5. Let me extend the line. So on this point is 2.5, right? Then on this point is 2 inches, and on this point is 2 inches. As simple as that. And you join them together. On this point, you then you join this. So this is how you get it back. So now, in order to confirm your hip, if the hip circumference is okay, you measure from here to here this way. From here to here is 9. Right? This point from here to here is 9. Right? You bring the 9 back here and put it there, and measure all the way down to this point, this place. So here I'm having 21 and half. 21 and half times 2 is how many? 21 is 42, and 100 is 43 in total. So that 43 now minus 43 minus 36 is how many? 43 minus 36 will still be left with 7. Yes, minus 36. You are left with 7. Yes. So it's still safe. You don't on this when you measure this and you minus the hip circumference, you should not have below 6 remaining, right? You should not have below 6. When you measure that and you minus the hip circumference from the total you have on this place, like this one I have 43 and you minus 36 and you have 7, it's still safe. But you should not have below 6. If you have 5, then it's wrong. If you have 4, 5 and a half, it's wrong. You should have at least 6. Then, if the 7 that is remaining is too much for you, and you want to have it exactly on, you want to have it exactly on 6, then you can still go ahead and reduce, right? You can still go ahead and reduce. You can still go ahead and reduce it. You can still go ahead and reduce it.